Is the mic working? Okay. So welcome everyone to this absolutely fantastic Jay Mansion here at the Jay Heritage Center. This is a thrilling experience, not only because we through the state are able to put money into this project, which I'll mention, but look at all the partners of this extraordinary historical place that Suzanne Clary and the board here has managed to put together. This is a tribute to what American history really involves and looks like. And so I'm very, very pleased to be part of it. I'm State Senator Shelley Mayer, representing the 37th Senate District here in the community of Rye, as well as much of Westchester. And I'm here today to announce that through the generosity of the taxpayers of New York State and with the leadership of Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, I've been able to give $500,000, $500,000, to restore this beautiful Jay Mansion. This beautiful Jay Mansion from 1938, as you can see if you look around, requires work. It's a big project. We were able to jumpstart it by getting this $500,000, and then we got to raise the rest. And with this community that Suzanne Clary, the director, has put together, this coalition, this kind of what we really need to make our history alive, we are going to be able to restore this beautiful mansion to its state that it will be accessible, it'll be environmentally friendly, and it will be open and available to so many in our community to see about the true story of American history. I do want to acknowledge my first Suzanne Clary, President and Interim Executive Director, the real driver of this project, who since I became a senator has become a partner and a colleague, and I'm very, very fortunate to have her. We have the Deputy County Executive, Ken Jenkins. We have the Mayor of the City of Rye, Josh Cohn. We have my fantastic Rye colleague, Assemblyman Steve Otis. And although she's here in a different capacity, Joan Grangeroy-Thomas, a member of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Portchester. And I also want to acknowledge the others who are here, members of the board, students who are doing studies about this place and the history, activists who care about the story of African American history and how it is part of this story that we are telling here. Those that care about the environment, those who care about accessibility, those who care about this place being part of the community, law students, volunteers, and so many others who are part of a bigger story of America. And if you've been privileged to be part of the Jay's story, as I have witnessed time and time again, you will see the commitment to telling the full, robust, good and bad story of American history. The last thing I want to say is this money goes to completing the vestibule, the entry where we are, new ceilings and walls, to add ADA-compliant bathrooms and ADA-compliant corridor and hallways, to finish the roof over the rear veranda, to expand geothermal heat and cooling pump to the second and third floor, and new rear portico decking. But that's just the beginning of what needs to be done, and we're going to have to raise the rest, but this is a very significant step forward. Lastly, I just want to say about John Jay. Last night I began reading in 1787 Jay's address to the people of New York about the need to have a united America at that time, to believe in the future of what the founders were proposing. For all its flaws, it was an extraordinary effort to create a constitution and an opportunity for America at that time to come together. It is worth reading and remembering that when we get together and we are on the same page and we are committed to the principles of democracy, we can truly make this country shine. I know this is an emblem of it. I'm very honored to be part of it. And so with that, I'd like to introduce my colleague and partner, Suzanne Clary.
Thank you, Shelley. Thrilled to have this transformative gift of $500,000. We have seen our visitation skyrocket. We now have over 35,000 people come to visit us each year, and many of them want to step inside this building on this footprint where John Jay, who both helped negotiate the Treaty of Paris that ended the war, but also abolished slavery, grew up, but more importantly, were members of the free Black African community, also lived and left their imprint of resiliency. And I love that part about the CREST grant, the idea of resiliency. We were fortunate enough to put in phase 1 of a geothermal system, so that's why we can actually be inside. It's not an oven, but we really need this money to do phase 2. It's a system we chose because we are next to Long Island Sound, and it's important to respect our environment, to respect powers of nature, including climate change. And the students that Shelley mentioned are studying those things: climate change, history, the abolition of slavery. They're studying immigration, they're studying democracy, and this is the building that they will be studying it in, hopefully for years and years to come. I want to mention some wonderful milestones. 20 years ago, we were added to Westchester County's African American Heritage Trail because of the programs that we do that are about freedom and dignity and its evolution in our country. 15 years ago, we were added to the Hudson River Valley National Heritage Area list, and that's for our significance of architecture, archaeological resources, and again, a beautiful landscape which is now being restored thanks to our partners at Westchester County and New York State. I also would be remiss not to mention two anniversaries that are coming up. In 2026, we'll be celebrating the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and in 2027, Emancipation 200. New York State was the first state to legally abolish slavery. And again, this is a very important theme of a lot of the programming that we do here. Last but not least, behind me, behind Shelley, are our partners and partnerships with other not-for-profits. In addition to our board, staff, our volunteers, we have the president, former president and current president of the American Women of African Heritage, Gloria Welcome and Francine Shorts. We have members. We have the president of the African American Men of Westchester, Lee Jones, and member of his board, Olney Reynolds and Hugh Marriott. We have the president of the Japan Society of Greater Fairfield County, Jackie Alexander. We have Joan Grangeois Thomas, who is a co-founder of the African American Cemetery. And for those of you who haven't seen it, we have a wonderful exhibit that relates to this cemetery, which is only 1 mile from our site. And our two not-for-profits work closely together on research of the free Black experience in this area. And I also want to give a shout out to Save the Sound and also Con Edison. Con Edison has been a staunch supporter of ours these many years, and they were there when we first put in the MEPs, the mechanicals, the electrics, the plumbing to get this all going. But the grant, this $500,000, is really going to harness that early energy, those early MEPs, and expand upon them in such an incredible, transformative way. Thank you so much.
So briefly, I want to acknowledge and have him come up to the podium, Ken Jenkins, Deputy County Executive.
Thank you, Shelley. Certainly on behalf of Westchester County Executive George Latimer, it's a privilege for me to be here with all of you. Our good friend, State Senator Shelley Mayer, let's give it up one more time for getting $500,000 to be able to continue the work here at Jay Heritage. With Suzanne Cleary, the members of the board, give it up for all of them and the hard work that they continue to do. All of our partners that are in the nonprofit world and all the community partners that are here, this is the kind of thing that makes everything work. All of our government partners, whether it's our friend Steve Otis or Mayor Cohen or even Joan Grangeois Thomas, who has so many hats that she continues to wear. Our good friend who represents this area, Catherine Parker, is out of town today, but you know what? She would want to make sure to continue to say the work that continues to be done and the partnership that continues to be done on Westchester County's behalf. I thought I saw a glimpse of Natasha Caputo from the tourism perspective, and Suzanne Cleary pointed it out. This is an important component in what happens here in Westchester County. And in Westchester County in 2022, we're still waiting for our 23 numbers. There were $2.2 billion of tourism that happened in Westchester County. And right here, J Heritage is one of those, the J Estate is one of those places that people continue to talk about. And to be able to be on the tour, on the trails, the various trails, whether it's the African American Trail, whether it's our history all around, and it's important to talk about that says that American history is everyone's history. It's everyone that is included here today and everyone in Westchester County, and we have so much tremendous history, and it's a great place to do it here. We're looking forward to see all the investments that continue to happen, and on behalf of all of us in the county, we couldn't be so pleased for our good friend Shelley Mayer and J Estate. Thank you.
So next, I want to introduce Josh Cohn, the mayor of the city of Rye, another great colleague.
Thank you, Shelley. I'm really here as the city's thanker-in-chief. And first I'd like to thank Suzanne Clary and Jay for all the great work that's done here, not only the preservation of the mansion, but all the work, historical work, the community outreach, the lecture work that takes place here. It's all fantastic and does great credit to Rye. And then turning to Shelley, just a few months ago, Shelley, you were standing with us at a less architecturally important site, that is the site of the city's new salt shed, a very important facility despite its architectural non-importance. But Shelley was hugely helpful in finding funding for that facility, just as she has helped in finding funding for Jay. And both of these efforts of Shelley's are huge benefits to Rye. Shelley, you're here for Rye. Rye knows it, and Rye thanks you.
And last but not least is my really great colleague representing Rye with me, the former mayor of the city of Rye, now Assemblyman Steve Otis.
Thank you, Shelley. You know, there are a couple of important messages. One thing is that history and preservation are not stagnant things. And this is great credit to the J Center for all the programming, because the people that come in here, it's not just about the past. All of the programs are relevant for today and educational for the life that we live today, and that's so important. To Shelley, what a tremendous addition, you know, with this funding is so important. When you save old buildings, you don't have to save them all at once. You have to save them first, but restoring them takes time. And so there have been many great things done here over the years, and this funding is essential for expanding the spaces that can be used and enjoyed by the public, used by these educational programs. This is a very special property that is shared ownership, New York State, Westchester County, J Heritage Center. J Heritage Center manages the property for the governmental entities, the whole 23 acres, and it is one of the best, most successful historic preservation sites in New York State because of this dynamic not-for-profit. So the money is going to go to good purposes and really change people's lives. The programming is here. Now, we have also surrounded these academic fellows that are here for the fellows programs for the summer. I think that one of the programs is going to be, the mayor mentioned the salt shed. Probably there needs to be a history of salt sheds in colonial times. I think the fellows are going to be all over it. Congratulations, Suzanne. Congratulations, and thank you to Shelley for this great grant.
So Shelley allowed me to close, and Steve touched on one other thing. This is a public-private partnership, and a lot of people don't know what that is or how successful it can be. It's public because this building and these grounds are open to the public, but a lot of it is funded through grants and also private donors and private volunteer hours of time. We have donors out there who have made so much possible here. We welcome them to continue to donate their funds to make it even more accessible. But the volunteers really, they've maintained the gardens, they give tours of the site, they really put their heart and soul into all of it. So again, we welcome you to this public place that is for all of you and our partners behind me and the fellows and the staff and the donors. Give them a round of applause. And thank you again, Shelley, for this extraordinary gift.